After Hong Kong, we headed to the Philippines, a place I love. Unfortunately, we flew through the Manila airport. If anyone from NAIA is watching, seriously, get your shit together. Eventually, we managed to get to Bohol and Panglao, quite late and with almost all of our luggage. The next morning, we got to it. We had a tour booked, and we immediately found out it was a great tour when the guide stopped and said, "Hey look, they're harvesting rice over there, and milling it over there." The first real stop was a tour at the Philippine Tarsier Sanctuary. Tarsiers are these funny little nocturnal primates. In the sanctuary, there's a few spots where they hang out during the day, and guides to point them out. I learned that even though they're little brown fluff balls with reflective eyes among bright green leaves, I am shockingly bad at finding them, even with a guide pointing right at them. I'm not very good at finding tarsiers. I found this guy. Anyway, for our second unplanned stop, we'd asked the guide if he knew where to find tuba, the local fermented palm sap wine. He did. As hooch goes, it's not bad. And for the locals, it's free. Just climb the tree and collect it. It's kind of like collecting maple sap if maple syrup gave you a buzz. From there, we headed to the Chocolate Hills, the local crazy limestone formation. Seeing the Chocolate Hills has been on our to-do list for years, and we finally made it. I don't want to say it was a bucket list item, but it was close. Then we took a river cruise with lunch. Maybe it's just because jungles are novel for me, but it really seemed like completely stunning scenery. With a house band that was up to Filipino standards, which is to say, really good. Kat's next request was if the driver knew where to get asin tibuok, the local crazy coconut husk and clay pot salt preparation.
Look at this one. It's so nice. Like you.
Did you see it? I had to watch a couple times before I did. Watch again. Big sister here hard sells cat on the salt.
Look at this one. It's so nice. Like you.
Now watch little sister, who's still working on her conversational English. Her big sister's so cool. Oh, but she's got stuff to do. I'll leave a link to Erwan Youssef's video in the description if you want to know more. The last official stop was a Baclayan church, which is the second oldest church in the Philippines, founded in 1596. Unfortunately, we couldn't go inside. Finally, our last side trip, the Buzz Bee Farm, for ice cream. And when we returned to the resort, Eunice's luggage arrived. Before we move on to the next day, I want to talk more about this asin tibuok. This is maybe what I like the most about traveling. This is an absolutely unique artifact to this island. Nobody else makes it. There's nowhere else to get it. You can buy it online. Now, certainly, part of the reason this is rare and almost went completely extinct is it's a kind of crazy way to produce and distribute salt in the modern world. You could just buy it at the grocery store, or you could husk some coconuts, take the husks, put them in salt water at the right time of year when the salinity's right, dry them if it rains, start over, burn the coconut husks, take the ash, strain salt water through that to extract the salt, put it in a little clay pot over fire, and then constantly refill it until you have a pot full of salt. And then when it cracks, I guess you're done. That's crazy, but I have one. This is something that almost nobody else can find or get. Is it a great preparation of salt? I don't know. It tastes a lot like salt, I think. It's not exactly a practical thing to have in your pantry if you just need some salt, but I have it. And I like that. See you tomorrow. Next morning, we had a mangrove kayaking tour booked. The tour involved weaving through little channels in the mangrove forests. They feel 1,000,000 miles from the rest of humanity, and then you find somebody fishing. I should explain that Eunice and I have a long-standing joke about an ill-fated exam question from her about seed dispersal. As it turns out, coconuts are basically seeds, and I stopped to produce some educational content for her. I'm in the mangrove forest in Bohol, Philippines, and I'm here to talk about seed dispersal. I found this seed. Dr. Chin is over there, and I'm going to disperse this seed over there.
Great dispersal, great.
Bonus points.
During the pandemic lockdowns, Kayak Asia didn't have a lot of customers, so they looked around at what they could do. It turns out they had a lot of old inflatable kayak material and enough initiative to learn how to sew. Kat bought an upcycled purse made out of inflatable kayak and inner tubes. She was excitedly told, "Kyle made that, he's your driver, and I dyed the fabric." Nice work, Kyle and Jeremy. We celebrated our athleticism by going into Alona Beach and having a beer. After breakfast the next morning, this time I found a much more easily accessible coconut. Dr. Chin and I are going to disperse it.
Look at it go!
Come on. Disperse, come on. It'll go. Come on. Go. No! We took it fairly easy for the rest of the day. My overall impression of Panglao and Bohol? They're a really nice intro to the Philippines. They have kind of most of the Filipino stuff you want and are tourist friendly without being too touristy. In our next video, we'll compare and contrast our trip to Cebu, where we meet a parrot.
Here we have a viewer named Kaya. Hi, Kaya.
Hi, Kaya. You should ask your mama and dada to bring you to the Philippines.
Actually, maybe ask your Lola.
Ask Lola. Bye.